What is going on? I'm Zedmont. That is Zedmont way over here in your creator boost. Do fill that out, and once you're done with that, come on back. Of course, it doesn't work because we're on the dev build. There are no creator codes on the dev build. There's a lot going on. We're gonna jump right in. See these new fancy tickets with gold and blue and yellow, and we can skip 15 minutes, skip another 15 minutes. These tickets are going to be ridiculously easy to find. If you are one of those players who wants to get upgraded quickly, they're going to be all over the place. So keep your eyes peeled for those. Now, speaking of things that people have had their eyes peeled for, those gray arrows infuriated a whole bunch of you. Under the settings menu, there are new gameplay options. Let's turn those off. All of those ugly gray arrows that caused all sorts of problems for people who had color blindness or OCD and just wanted to click all the arrows, they're now gone, friends. Now, you might be asking yourself, when, how, why? Well, let's start with the when. Early next week, maybe as early as tomorrow. It all depends on the Google Play and the App Store and all of their verification and all that sort of stuff. So do keep your eyes peeled. There's a lot going on here, though. I'm going to try to cover every single detail. If you're one of those people who wants to read notes instead of watching a boring video, by all means, check the description down below. I will put all of the details down there because I know these videos can get a bit boring. So let's get going. I'm going to go back to that. We're going to start with this gameplay options thing. This health display, I find it super annoying, but maybe if you're a 74-year-old dude playing Boom Beach, you're going to struggle with trying to find your troops, especially bombardiers who are super, super tiny. And if you want to turn that on now, you're going to have every single one of your troops is going to have one of those green bars over it. Makes it a little bit easier to find small troops. I know bombardiers are super duper tiny, and sometimes you can't find them, so maybe, just maybe, that's going to be a feature that I turn on. I don't think so, though. I feel like that one is something that I don't need, but for those of you who might be visually impaired, or maybe you just want to be able to zoom out a little bit, seems like a great option, especially the fact that that is not required. Now, check this out. For those of you who are in task forces that play on the main base, this supply chest gives all sorts of intel. It's an easy way to get intel for your task force. Check that out. It used to be every 20 hours you could get up to 4 intel in that supply chest. It is now every hour. That means, in theory, if you have a full map, you can get, what is that? 24 times 4? Like, crazy. Was that 96 intel a day just from getting that supply chest if you're above 1100 victory points? Pretty unlikely because you're probably not going to have the spawns to match that, but an easy way to pound the intel. Now, a little bit less exciting details. Those annoying barbed wire posts that were all over people's resource bases, they are gone forever. I'm sure the Reddit moderators are going to be ridiculously happy. The HQ requirements for iron storage have been reduced a little bit. Whenever there's maintenance coming, you'll get a proper notification. Remote defib has been fixed for those of you who are screaming and yelling because of the fact that it didn't give the proper number of troops for the longest time. When you were attacking or when you were scouting a base, once in a while it would say like upgrade completed. Well, that is no longer the thing. Other quick note, you'll notice that the medkits are now green. Apparently there's like a Geneva Convention where medics and medkits now wear green instead of red. I don't know anything about that. If any of you are in that sort of field and that means something to you, do by all means let me know. Like I said though, I don't know anything about that. Seems like a good thing if that's what the world has chosen to do. If you are changing accounts, you're not, and if you ever have multiple accounts and you're changing accounts and your supply chest shows the wrong details, that is fixed. Fixed an issue where resource bases wouldn't show the level until they were scouted. small minor details and better instructions when your base isn't invalid. And like if we were to say, for example, let's show that. Let's see if we can show that right here. We're going to save this, and then we're going to build ourselves a decoration on the beach. We're going to build ourselves a beachmas tree on that beach. We're going to save that as layout number 2. If we switch back to layout number 1, if we go to layout number 2 and load, let's load it. Apparently you can. I don't know. Anyways, moving forwards. Intel. If we have a look at this cap, let's just see what we can do. We are in a 5-person task force. Let's bring that up to a number that's a little bit more familiar to a bunch. And just like that, we are in a 25-person task force, and there's now an intel cap of 900. Every single task force has had their cap raised by 50%. So not only do we have just bucket loads of intel coming from that new supply chest change, there's also the ability to store bucket loads of intel. Now, I think this still needs work. There's going to be a whole lot of sabotaging done by some task forces that have lots of dump accounts, but if we go into this one, for example, we can probably jump on in and we can sabotage like every single defense. Well, actually, this thing doesn't even have anything we can sabotage. Easiest base in the history of bases. So sabotage, I think, will be a bigger problem now. They still need to address that, but they've shown that they are listening to everyone. Next up, submarine sites. It seems like there's been a lot of details around people who are struggling to find things. So these submarine sites, you can actually jump to a different submarine site by clicking that button. You don't have to go finding those little tiny yellow dots, which is kind of handy. And now, if you can see here, we talked about being able to find those time savers. They're going to be in your supply chest. You're going to need to get diving for that. Now, there's a new place to store all of these things, all of your classified items, all of your hero tokens. By the way, hero tokens, I've been stressing with the developers that they need to do something with those things, because all of you guys out there that are maxed have tons of tokens, tons and tons of trader crates. And one thing they have done is they have changed the trader. Apparently there's a whole bunch of new trader items. Now you'll notice that that timer is going. The trader is going to update her trades every single day. And let's say you look at these trades and you think these things suck. Spend those 20 diamonds, bada bing, bada boom, you've got new trades. I don't know how many times you can do that. It says the trader is here for 7 days. I'm not totally sure on that, so do check that out in game. But very, very interesting. Next up, this resource boat. As hopefully all of you know, this resource boat right here has unlimited resources, and all the resources in that boat cannot be rated. That is the #1 way to get huge, easy upgrades. And check this out. It now tells us how much is in there. So if you tap on it, if you click collect, that's when you finally get it. So the first tap shows all of that, and then the next tap gives you what you're after. So let's see if we can't upgrade something over here. Come on. I got nothing to upgrade with the gold. You know what we can do though? We can go into here and we'll drop all of our gold. Oh, there we go. Dropped some of our gold? No, we didn't. I'm already full of, let's boost some stuff, I do suppose. We're gonna boost that and upgrade that, and then we'll get rid of some gold here. Hopefully, finally getting rid of some gold. Now we can click on that, click a second time. It allows you to collect. That is a feature that a lot of you have been asking for. It takes a lot to train your muscle memory, not to pick up that resource boat. And now there's a second click. If we go back into that gameplay options, you'll notice there's a battle fast forward. Let's show you exactly what that is, shall we? If we attack an NPC base, for those of you who just force quit on NPC bases, check this out. You just click the button, your troops start moving, and as soon as you tap on a GBE, it comes back to regular speed. So all you have to do if you want to stop that fast forward is click somewhere and it'll come on back. Now the other option, of course, is you go into that gameplay options and you just say manual. So let's see how that goes. Come on. We drop a troop. and then fast forward. And we're going to go to 3 times mode. Oops, we're going to go up to 3 times mode. We can throw GBE while they're in 3 times mode. I'm probably going to stick to that personally, but it all comes down to how you want to play the game. And it just means that you'll be able to clear bases faster, and those silly things that you don't care about, you can just fast forward through them. Now, against player bases, that is not an option. It's only against NPC bases. Let me know in the comments, should this be an option for player bases? Personally, I think yes, because most max level players just destroy NPC bases anyways, so I would love to see that for player bases as well, especially for those of you who just drop Scorchers when they're full boosted. You know what, let's give our old friend Dr. T a test. I want to see if Dr. T can be done using that. Yep, there we go. That's the fast forward. That's going to be super, super handy for those of you who don't do the daily events. Watching your troops walk through this and just absolutely crush bases. I am a big fan. I'm a big fan of this update. Let's have a look at that replay, and I want to see if it's going to replay on... Ooh, maybe, just maybe... I'm going to have to let them know about that, because I feel like the replays are not available if, or maybe that's just the dev build. So we didn't do any sort of 3 times mode on this base, and we can't watch the replay. So maybe that's a problem with the dev build. Maybe that's a problem with the update. I will let the developers know. Like I said, this update should be out soon. That's a minor issue in my mind. Now, one other quick detail. We're going to talk about Warships. Now, I can't click on that Warships button right now because Season 48 has started. Do consider subscribing to see sneak peeks about that. But if you're familiar with the choice nodes, the ones that are down the tree that you haven't unlocked the path to now, they now show how many keys they are if you click on them. Took me a second to figure out where that was, but if you click on the choice node, you can see right dead center there. This one costs 26 keys. That's going to be fairly helpful when you're trying to figure out, do the math. I'll probably do the math wrong anyways, but that is going to be super duper helpful. Now, one other thing about Warships that I am very excited about is the fact that Seekers no longer follow flares. That was a bug that has plagued Warships for a while. Those of you who play with Seekers might know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But Seekers no longer follow flares. Also, rocket choppas no longer need to be re-flared. All sorts of things as far as troops that will follow flares more reliably. If you've ever had a moment where brick doesn't follow your flare, that will hopefully be a thing of the past. Now, quick details. I know in previous updates, and I'm trying to make something happen on this screen bit by stinking little bit so you guys are not bored here. In previous updates that have come out with Boom Beach, you guys have said, oh, here comes some more bugs. This new dev team is done everything modular. So have faith in this new dev team. They seem ridiculously good, and I don't say that lightly. I'm not paid to say that. I'm not told to say that. Everything they've done, all of the updates can be turned off and on one at a time. It's not this big, giant, monolithic update that is going to ruin everything. They've done things modularly. They've done things well. And this update, just like the last one, should be very, very, very good. I keep looking for medkits, and the fact they're green is throwing me off a little bit. But other things that are in the game, I guess before you could report your own profile on Warships, like you could report yourself for cheating or something like that. So that's no longer a thing. That's pretty much all of the things though. We've got those health bars, we've got those new fast forward details. And now, as you saw here, those fast forward details are going to be very, very, very easy to find. They're going to be in supply chests. You can find them on your map, apparently. You can find them in the submarine. And I'm guessing they're also going to be all over this trader detail. Let's just re-roll a couple times. We've got 1,000,000 diamonds to spend with. There we go. There are some fast forward tokens. These fast forward tokens are going to be great for the game economy. Simply getting people up to higher levels is a good thing. Some of you, like me, who had to grind all the way to max without these things might be a little bit jaded, but the higher level players we have, the bigger player population, the better matchmaking is going to be in Warships. I think I've covered everything. Oh, by the way, you now have to place an engine room. So back on that Warships, before you could not place an engine room. So once in a while you'd be at 4 engine rooms and you'd come across a player who only had 3 out, and you'd scratch your head and wonder if they forgot to put that extra engine room out, or maybe they were trying to save gunboat energy, but it turns out they just forgot. So now you have to place that extra engine room. That will be interesting as well. So I know a bunch of you have been super grumpy about that at times. Man, you know what? I'm going to change to riflemen. I want to see 248 riflemen or whatever the heck we have with all of those green status bars. I think it would be absolutely ridiculous. So let's do that right here. And just like that, with the power of the dev build, we have got all of, by the way, these bases are just an absolute gong show. They are all super low level. We're just going to drop all of our riflemen. First, we're going to clear some mines though. Let's get all of those mines cleared. And now out. Oh my gosh, that is hideous. Absolutely, absolutely hideous. I hope you guys like that. I think it looks beyond terrible, but it's an option. And the fact that it is an option just means that it's going to help someone. So it's not for me. I thankfully have very, very good eyes, but that is hideous. Just absolutely hideous. I kind of want to play with it, this mode turned on for a little while, just to see how ridiculous we can make things. I don't think you can go worse than the Rifleman though, but maybe, just maybe, somehow, some way. So overall, a very, very good update. Lots and lots of intel, attention on the main base, but it's a can of worms, my friends. All that extra intel causes big, big alarms with me. The fact that sabotage is going to be just absolutely rampant. Intel problems are still going to be there. They're just not going to be as bad. We still need intel for War Factory. I think sabotage needs to be removed from the game. I don't think it adds anything at this point. Let me know what your thoughts on that are, but steps in the right direction. We still need possibly a new hero, or somehow to spend, like, no one's spending $5 on 10 hero tokens, let's be honest. Would really, really like to be able to trade our hero tokens for something in this trader. Haven't seen it so far. I don't think it's coming. Maybe there's a new hero in the pipe. Don't really know. See, I want this offer on the left-hand side to be reversed. I want to trade my hero tokens for diamonds. Have not seen it yet, but maybe, just maybe, do keep an eye on on these trader deals. I don't have a lot of faith the trader deals are going to get magically all of a sudden better overnight, but hopefully they are slightly better. That is all of the things though. Tried to keep this video somewhat short, did not get there. Seekers no longer being shocked is huge. I'm super excited about that. I would like to have fast forward for, oh, by the way, that fast forward mode is available for the Mega Crab. That is a big, big deal for those of you like me who hate the early stages of the Mega Crab. The fact that you'll be able to drop all your troops and then put the Mega Crab in 3x mode is going to be huge for... I don't even play Mega Crab anymore, and when I do, I force quit. So that new fast forward mode is going to be great. Maybe I'll start streaming the Mega Crab this month. Do consider subscribing. Could you imagine hasty Mega Crab with 3x speed? Could you try and smoke? You know what? I'm gonna try to smoke troops with 3x. Oh, that's not an NPC. Let's find ourselves an NPC here and see if we can smoke our troops here with 3x mode enabled. Let's put it on 3x mode and we're gonna try it. Oh my god, this could be so ridiculously fun. Like trying to smoke mechs with 3x mode. So have a look for my Mega Crab videos this month. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. Whether or not it is going to help the quality of life in Boom Beach, I couldn't tell you, but it's going to make for a lot of ridiculous, ridiculous fun. Hopefully you guys stuck around to the end. Hopefully your brains are spinning about this update. Not a lot. There's not a new base. There's no new events. There's no new Mega Crab, no new hero. But all of the things that are in game have gotten polished. They've gotten better, and this excites me. Hopefully we get to that point where it's polished and better, and they're going to bring new things. Like for me personally, Dr. T needs to be reworked. Warships needs to be reworked. Imitation Game needs to be reworked. Mega Crab needs to be reworked. But they're polishing all of the details behind the scenes, and I hope at some point in the near future those things come about. So that is going to be it for me. A longer video than I anticipated, but there's a lot in this update. Wanted to make sure I got it all across to you. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully this excites you. If it doesn't, hit me up in the comments as well. As always, like, share, subscribe, tell your aunt to watch it. I'll talk to you soon. Do come back. There will be some great things on the channel very soon. I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in. Peace.